Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy motherfucking Monday. How we all doing, man? How we all doing? What's cracking? It is Monday, September 9th, 2024. How we doing, man? Another fine Monday for the Music Mondays podcast, and I hope everybody had a good week, man. Hope everybody's been chilling. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We are well underway into September. Lots of really great updates coming for you here on Music Mondays. I'm well though. I hope everybody's good, man. I hope everybody's good. Had a pretty stacked weekend myself, to be honest with you. Got a lot of content done, doing a lot of planning for Cyberfest, as you all know. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with some weekly recap jazz. We're gonna get into what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We're going to talk about some community feedback jazz, see what other guides you guys want on Music Mondays, and then we can dive into some reactions and reviews. So, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, weekly recap jazz, shall we? Alright, so, what happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so? Let's get into it. Alright. Let's see here. So, as you all know, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are still available right now. We have a good variety left. We have smalls, mediums, and larges still in stock. We actually just sent out a few to the post office today. So, for those of you that did order, you will be getting tracking within the next 24 hours. So, those are available right now. Make sure you go check those out. Make sure you hit us up if you'd like to purchase one. And you'll see some last-minute promo go out for the rest of those. And that'll be that for Music Mondays merch for 2024. But of course, we'll be dropping more next year as well, right? So, let's see here. We usually kick the week off with that. And then, of course, every Tuesday, Music Mondays launches early access Patreon content. So every Monday following the show, we upload the Music Mondays podcast to Patreon. And that drops the following Tuesday for any of our Patreons that want to have early access to high-quality Music Mondays podcast episodes to rip up, chop up, anything like that. You want to clip it, you want to kind of record it, do whatever you want with it in high quality. That is available every single Tuesday. So make sure you keep a note of that. Of course, rolling into, let's see here, rolling into Wednesday. Many of you know that we drop SoundCloud Sunday submissions every single Wednesday. So again, make sure you follow us on socials. Keep your eyes peeled for SoundCloud Sunday submissions because those do go live every single Wednesday. All right, so that was Wednesday, of course. Like I said, SoundCloud Sunday submissions go live every single Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that, because that's a pretty consistent thing you can always count on. Let's see here. So heading into Thursday, episode 189 of the Music Mondays podcast drops on all audio platforms, pretty much like every Thursday. If you watch the live show on Mondays, you can expect the audio versions of the podcast to drop every single Thursday on your favorite audio platforms. Places like Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for things like that. Those drop every single Thursday. So episode 189 is available right now. Okay, and then of course on Thursday we do drop YouTube uploads, literally every single Thursday. So again, a brand new YouTube upload is available right now on our channel. Last week we discussed a pretty important topic, if I do say so myself, how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast for an interview or a review, right? How do you get an interview on Music Mondays? How do you get a review on Music Mondays? I pretty much broke that down in pretty good detail. So that's available right now on the channel for those of you that are interested on the process on pretty much how we write Music Mondays articles and how we kind of dive into that sort of thing. So that's available right now. Make sure you go check that out. Go show that video some love. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We actually did finally hit 290. We're at 291 currently at the time of the show. So definitely go sub to the channel. We are 9 away from the big 300, man. So let's fucking get it. That's fantastic. So very excited about that. But again, new videos every Thursday, every Saturday. So make sure you go show the channel and these videos and these artists some love. So, that was Thursday. We headed into Friday with a pretty decent Friday, to be honest with you. Pretty busy Friday, but we did drop a brand new article by the homie Jaded, a Music Money staff writer and wonderful artist. They did a wonderful interview with the homies Way Official. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. And go show both of them some love, especially Jay. Very, very, very talented Music Money staff writer. Make sure you go show Jay some love and go check out that article. And pretty much everything else we've been dropping the past like 3 months has been fucking insane. So definitely go check out some recent pieces on the Music Mondays home page. Let's see here. So that was Friday. We headed into Saturday with episode 189 of the Music Mondays podcast live on YouTube. So again, for those of you that do enjoy the YouTube version of the Music Mondays podcast, that drops every single Saturday. So you can find that pretty consistently on the channel every single Saturday. So again, episode 189 is available right now for your YouTube viewing pleasure. But of course, it's available pretty much everywhere at that point. Like I said, on all audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. So again, make sure you go check that out. Go show those artists some love. And go show episode 189 some love, my friends. So, let's see here. That was Saturday, and then we headed into Sunday with a brand new version of SoundCloud Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday volume 151 is available right now. Make sure you go check that out and go show that some love. That was curated by the homie Avanko and myself. Cover art by myself. Moving on in with SoundCloud Sunday, man. SoundCloud Sunday is like such a stacked content piece for Music Mondays, man. I just love SoundCloud Sunday. You guys know I speak very highly of it here on the show, but I do really love it, and it's one of the longest standing Music Mondays pieces outside of the podcast, right? I think the podcast is the only thing that's like been a little bit longer in terms of lifespan, right? But again, SoundCloud Sunday volume 151 is available right now, so definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. And again, submissions open every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow us on socials: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Wherever you use socials, we are there. So, that was your past week at Music Mondays. That's pretty much every major drop that we had get put out. And of course, we're cooking in the background with a lot of very important stuff when it comes to Music Mondays events, really. But that's kind of like your weekly recap and pretty much everything you need to know about over the course of the last week or so. But like I said, weekly recap's good. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week. We're going to go over some community feedback, and then we're going to hop into some reactions and reviews. So, let's see here. What's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week? Let's talk about it. Let's see some updates. What does the next week look like? And what's going on at Music Mondays in the background. All right. Sip a little caffeine. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right. So many of you know over the course of the last, I'd say, course of the last like 2 or 3 weeks mostly, the big thing here at Music Mondays is Cyberfest, right? So we are hard at work with kind of organizing the event, making sure all the back end stuff when it comes to tech and setup is going to be good. I'm making sure all the artists are good and really getting them all in one spot. So we're getting closer and closer to a final announcement. I think the show's going to actually pan out way better than I thought it was, just because of how excited everybody is and how enthusiastic all the artists are. So again, I'm pretty much aiming to have a full flyer and announcement out by this Friday. And if you're an artist listening to this and you have a set, or you're interested in having a set, you'll be in contact with me this week. We'll be talking to you and running you down some details when it comes to that in Cyberfest 2. So this week's kind of like a big week. It's pretty much the last wrap-up week before we go in full promo mode and kind of start tossing out some flyers and things like that. So that's kind of been the big backdrop as far as what's going on at Music Mondays. Because, of course, I'm making sure the staff is prepped, making sure the artists are prepped, I'm making sure the Discord is prepped, right? So there's a couple things right now that I'm working on that are pretty much done and should be done by the end of the week to actually have like a nice flyer. So again, Cyberfest 2 is taking up a lot of the Music Mondays resources right now. Then of course, Like I said, we shipped out some more merch today, so you'll see at least one more post when it comes to Music Money's merch before the end of the year. So that's one thing we actually want to wrap up as well. And of course, like I spoke about last week, the Music Money's Patreon has a big plan that we're sitting on, and a big revamp when it comes to all the rewards and the perks that we're going to give to our patrons, and kind of like give everybody a little bit more love when it comes to the Patreon, right? So those three things right there are like kind of October, or kind of like occupying our September, October. That's kind of like the scope of like the next couple months. Not so much November, December, because we have like at least like one more thing planned when it comes to the end of the year. But because of course we had like the Music Money's awards and shit too. But that's like kind of like the next couple of weeks, right? And then of course the major Cyberfest 2 shit is going to be coming up. So yeah, that's what's going on in the Music Money's background, right? Dealing with obviously Cyberfest 2 stuff, Music Money's merch, and slowly working on our Patreon update for all of our wonderful community members over there. So, that's again like the big scope of things. And then when it comes down to your weekly and monthly content, a lot of that will be the same per usual, right? So you can expect the podcast to stay the same, submissions will stay the same. We have a few more roster members that we're going to be announcing. We're going to be adding some Music Money staff members, which is going to be nice. And of course, weekly interviews every Friday, and reviews, of course. Pretty much everything will stay the same on that front when it comes to weekly and monthly content. So you guys can, expect the same there. But we're pretty much hard at work when it comes down to buttoning down every loose end when it comes to Cyberfest 2. So that's like a big deal right now for us. But again, the rest of the content, like I said, will stay the same. So that's kind of like the next scope of like the next few weeks of Music Money's content and things like that. So exciting, but this week will be like a big deal. So after the show tonight, I'm actually gonna have one more meeting, and then I'll be getting ready to kind of move forward with the next couple steps when it comes down to Cyberfest 2. So lots of stuff going down, but that's pretty much the scope of things. Like I said, a couple other things that I do want to go over before we move on. We're going to talk about recruiting, and we're going to talk about exclusives. So per usual, you guys know the drill. Music Mondays is recruiting. We actually just recruited 2 brand new staff members that you'll see announced this week, but we do have at least 2 more open slots that we're looking to fill in. So again, if you're a journalist, writer, curator, designer, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content, you want to do YouTube, you want to do TikToks, we're pretty much looking to fill every single role on the staff team. So again, if that interests you, definitely let us know. Send us an email, send us a message, send me a DM, and Music Money's a DM, message one of the Music Money staff members. We're down to have a conversation, right? And of course, I have a wonderful role guide on the Music Money's YouTube channel where I kind of break down all the staff roles into more detail, and what everybody kind of does when it comes to their role, what's required, what perks you get, things like that. So definitely go check that out if you want any more details. Or again, you can just send us a message, and we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. So, Music Money's is recruiting. You guys know that. But of course, we are on hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. So many of you know we dropped a SoundCloud exclusive album in July that was really well received by the community and pretty much everybody that was involved. But we're back on the hunt for more SoundCloud exclusives, right? So if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Monday SoundCloud and across all of our social media for free, definitely let us know. We are only interested in unreleased tracks, right? So again, feel free to do whatever you want with the track, following that. So if you want to go upload it on all platforms, that's great. But again, we are only interested in the SoundCloud version. So feel free to do whatever you want afterwards. But again, definitely let us know if that's something you're interested in. And of course, same for YouTube. Again, we are on the hunt for visuals, lyric videos, animated videos, the visuals, audio. Like if you want anything hosted on the Music Money's YouTube channel, again, much like SoundCloud, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us an email. Again, we are only interested in unreleased media. You can do whatever else you want with the track afterwards, but we only want to host the exclusive version of the YouTube or SoundCloud track. So again, if you'd like to have your visual or music video hosted and promoted for free on the Music Money's YouTube channel of almost 300 subscribers and promoted across all of our socials, definitely let us know, because we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. I love doing those, and it's one of those things that I'll never stop doing when it comes to Music Mondays. Whether it be SoundCloud or YouTube, I just want more actual music involved, right? Because I love underground media and I love articles, I love writing, I love the video interviews and things like that. But like the core of this is the art, right? So that's why I love those like exclusive tracks, because it brings it back to the roots and like the point of all this, and it's just a great way to like not only archive tracks that otherwise maybe wouldn't be put out, but it also just promotes artists in like a different way. That's why I always love those. But again, we are looking for SoundCloud and YouTube versions, so definitely let us know if any of those interest you and you want to plan a rollout with Music Mondays. So, we pretty much went over everything. We did weekly recap jazz. We spoke about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week. We spoke about recruiting. We spoke about exclusives. I think the last thing we got to do before we get into some reactions is community feedback. So, many of you know over the course of the last week or so, or actually the last couple weeks, I'd say that like the last like 3 or 4 episodes of the Music Mondays podcast, we've been kind of doing a lot of how-to guides, right? So we've been kind of diving into how-to guides when it comes to how to get an article in Music Mondays, how to kind of submit to SoundCloud Sunday, how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast. We've been really diving into the like how-to guide sections, right? But again, it's a new month. We're pretty much heading deep into September, and we're gonna turn to the community like usual, and we're gonna ask you guys what you'd like to see on not only the Music Mondays podcast, but the Music Mondays platform in general. So again, for those of you that don't know what community feedback is, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get into it. So, every month on the Music Mondays podcast, I like to do a segment where we kind of give the floor to the community, right? So, we have a ton of content planned for the show. We always have a ton of content planned for the show. I can yap about pretty much any topic, and I always come up with new ideas. But I always like to give the opportunity and the floor to the community, right? So, if the community has anything they'd like to see here on the show, whether it be us talking about other topics, you want to talk about the underground climate, you want to talk about controversies, you want more how-to guides, you want stuff about Music Mondays lore, tips and tricks, right? Like we've done everything from how to take care of your setup to dealing with artists that can't get features back to dealing with fake playlists. Like we've pretty much covered a lot of bases, and there's a lot to still cover, but I never want to neglect the community, right? I always want to give the community a chance to kind of pitch us ideas and tell us what they would like to see here on the show. So again, I only speak about things that I, have knowledge of and really can speak on firmly, right? You'll never see me speak on shit that I don't know about. So again, if you have a topic that maybe I can't personally speak on, maybe we'll get somebody here on the show on call to kind of speak on the topic that the community wants to hear about, right? So again, we're pretty much open to everything. Nothing is too simple and nothing is too complex. Because even if you just shoot your idea, we can always like piggyback off that and kind of come up with like another concept, right? So, again, community feedback is going to be live this Thursday on the channel. So make sure you drop some comments. Make sure you send us a tweet, send us a DM. Tell us what you'd like to see here on the show. But not only on the show, what you'd like to see on Music Mondays in general, right? Do you want us to drop our Spotify playlist faster? Do you want us to kind of interview this artist? Do you want to see us talk about AI? Do you want to see us talk about a lot of other shit we have spoke about, but I'm always down to like rehash other subjects because it's just been so long since we've touched on a lot of this shit. We have like over 400 videos on the channel, right? Of course, like a good 200 of them being the Music Mondays podcast, but the other half of them are definitely like a wide variety of tips and tricks and Music Mondays exclusives and rants about X, Y, or Z, because we've done a lot here on the show. But again, I would like the community's input on certain things that they would like to see here on the show, right? So definitely let us know. And again, this will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And of course, this will be live on Thursday. So definitely drop us a comment, send us a tweet, send us a DM, send me a DM. Let us know what you'd like to see here on the show, or even just the Music Mondays platform in general. right? Maybe some website upgrades. Maybe you want us to interview a certain artist or X, Y, or Z. Definitely let us know your thoughts because we want to hear them. But regardless, there's definitely going to be no shortage of content. But we definitely always want to give the community that opportunity and that option at least to maybe drop an idea if they have one, or they're like, yo, maybe you should do this. So that'll be community feedback number 14, I believe. So definitely go check that out. Make sure you sub to the channel. I think we're like 9 subs away from 300. So go check out the channel. Go show these artists and these videos some love. Let's get it. Oh, all right, chap. So community feedback, man. Community fucking feedback. Like I said, like that's just always super important to me, just because I always want to make sure that everybody kind of has a chance to feel like they can like pitch an idea, like pretty openly. So, we've been doing community feedback for at least once a month, right? But we pretty much went over everything. Weekly recap, what's coming on Music Mondays. We did community feedback, so let's get into it. The last but not least is reactions and reviews. So you guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, tweets are always in the same format, and they'll always read. Artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on September 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/ZomPlays, which is here and now. So the only thing that changes about these tweets is the date. So again, make sure you're not dropping your submissions under a show that has already happened, or a super old tweet, or X, Y, or Z. So again, tweets are always in the same format, but just make sure you double check the date and drop your links below the tweet, and you're good to go. And of course, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. Everything from, obviously, music, instrumentals, vocals, music videos, YouTube edits, merch, photography, videography, all types of fashion. We've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. So don't feel like you have to abide by any rules or anything like that. Because again, the only logic being, behind that guideline is that a lot of artists are multi-talented, right? A lot of producers are also artists. A lot of artists are also designers. A lot of designers are also engineers. So a lot of this shit goes hand in hand. So we wanted to make sure that we gave everybody an opportunity to showcase everything that they do, right? So if one week you feel like submitting a track that you produced, that's great. Next week maybe it might be a photo album. Next week it might be merch. So that's kind of the logic behind that. And of course, for our show limit, that's just to keep the show a little bit more palatable, because we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch every single Monday. So again, it makes it a little bit easier on us, but it makes the show a little bit easier to watch back as well, right? I mean, one could argue, like I always say, that a 4-hour show is a little bit tedious to watch back, but it's a lot shorter than our previous 5, 6, 7, 8-hour shows that we used to have in like 2022, right? So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. But of course, it just makes the show a little bit more palatable. So yes, 4-hour show limits, and of course, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Not only to help spread our message and grow our platform, but again, just to pay respects to everybody else that does follow Music Mondays on Twitter and wait for their links to be reacted to. And of course, you gain access to a wide variety of wonderful, talented, very welcoming community members. So it's kind of like a win-win. So again, submissions are always free, and they always have been. So make sure you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. That's the only thing that we do ask. And of course, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you are subscribed to the Patreon at any tier, you gain access to a pretty decent list of goodies, but one of those goodies includes the Music Mondays Fast Pass, where, again, for the duration that you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon, you can have your submissions played first every week here on the show. So again, say you subscribe to the Patreon tonight on September 9th, the next 4 Mondays in a row, or for the duration that you're pledged to the Patreon, you'll have all of your submissions played first every single week before the rest of the community, right? So it kind of guarantees you the first slot, while also kind of you always being first when it comes to the live show. When it comes to people watching the show back, you're pretty much the first face that everybody sees. So it's a pretty big advantage. But again, huge shout out to all of our Patreons. Just keep that in mind. I think the only other thing that we have to discuss is submissions do close a couple hours before the show starts. So again, you have about 6 or so days to submit to the Music Mondays podcast. So again, if you're watching the show live here tonight, submissions will open tomorrow, September 10th, for episode 191. And of course, if you're already here watching this live, submissions are closed. So again, you have roughly about 6 or so days. But again, we do close submissions a couple hours before the show starts. So a good rule of thumb is if you see the show live, submissions are probably closed. You know what I mean? But again, you have about a good 6 or so days to get your tracks in. You could quite literally cook up something tonight and have it in for episode 191. So, decent amount of time. But again, we are a live show. We like to keep things a little bit more free flow and fast, and kind of make sure that we get to each submission in a decent time, right? So, that's why we like to close the submissions and kind of get a head count and see what the show is looking like for the month, or for the night, I should say. So, that's pretty much all the major details. Again, if you'd like any more information on the Music Mondays podcast, we do have a how-to guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel where I kind of talk about the logic behind the Music Mondays podcast, how this started, why we take submissions on Twitter, and kind of just dive into a little bit more detail when it comes to the show. So again, if you have any other questions, you should definitely check out that video, or feel free to send us a message and let us know. But outside of that, man, let's see who we have tonight, man. I think we're good. So let's check out how many patrons we have for tonight, and then let's get into it. We have such a stacked night, man. A lot of veterans coming through tonight for the Music Mondays community, eh? Lots of familiar faces. A couple new faces too, which is nice. Okay, so we have one Patreon for tonight, and then we can go top to bottom and dive into the rest of the community. So, all right, I believe our only Patreon tonight is the homie Jordan. So, per usual, Jordan's been kicking it off with his number one slot and really fucking, starting us off like really hot, It's really been a pleasure these last few weeks to kind of just start it off like really decent. So it's like, fuck. But again, for those of you that don't know, man, the homie Jordan has had a stellar 2024, and actually the last like couple years they've just been like really on a roll when it comes to their work ethic, and everything we've seen here on the show has just been such a constant upgrade, but such like a great variety too. There's so many great things about Jordan that I think we've seen here on the show like just truly develop, literally. But this week Jordan submitted a track titled Far From It, in brackets The End. Outro for the new project coming next week. Yeah, so Jordan's been teasing us with this brand new kind of acoustic-esque alt style project, and we have a outro here for the said project. So this project will be dropping on the 16th. So I believe that's like a Sunday, I believe, right? No, that's on Monday. So that's literally 1 week from today. 1 week from today. So if you're watching this live next Monday, this will be out, and I assume we'll be reacting to another one of these tracks next week. But I'm down, man. I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Far From It, The End. Let's go.
You know what? The one who pretends that they don't need help, need more help more than anybody else,
But from ashes to ashes, from dust to dust, so it must be. But, O King of Kings, beneath thy almighty wings, so it must be. O God, the spirit of all our joys, the cause of our delights, the glory of our darkest nights, and the comfort at times like these.
There's only so much time before I'm defined by the wind. This product is coming out, so I must stay in line with this purpose and get out my own way. The feeling was gone, but it's growing now. Still wish I could turn back clock sometimes and make edits to the story, but I know I've gotten pretty lucky, been dodging what heads towards me. I feel free right now. I'm closing the book on a project that was for me, just an update on where I'm going. I also got a lot of the summer, feeling like they can't afford me, but I'm still working on a lot. Project done, but I planned a whole day of recording. Got too much to say, please don't ignore me. My future feel like clay that I'm forming by hand. Here I go, getting hopeful again, but I think there's a chance. If I do what I planned, taller I stand, grow taller again. If I do what I
Definitely has that like outro vibe for sure. For sure.
Messages sent to the stars, hoping they get that
No
far.
way.
I hope to get that far. I know it's hard. This whole thing might fall apart. You know things fall apart. Messages sent to the stars, hoping they get that far. I hope to get that far. I know it's hard. This whole thing might fall apart. You know things fall apart. Messages sent to the stars, hoping they get that far. I hope to get that far. I know it's hard. This whole thing might fall apart. You know things fall apart. Messages sent to the stars, hoping they get that far. I hope to get that far. I know
Wow.
it's hard. This whole thing might fall apart. You know things fall apart.
Okay. So this is really crazy. One thing I noticed, like right off rip, is it definitely had that like closing time outro kind of like end of the road, end of the episode, end of the album kind of feel to it, and I like that a lot. You know, I really like that a lot. I'm a big fan of intros and outros, right? Like I feel like they're crucial to any type of project. You know, doesn't really matter what genre or even if it's just like an instrumental project, I do feel like that intros and outros are like super important. Um, but this is great. This is one that like was comforting, but also made you like feel a little bit too. So it's like shit. Like this is one that definitely like hits home, and like it does do it feels like it's mm, it just feels like that closer, you know. Um, but I do like a lot of like the underrated parts about this. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Regardless, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the intro, or no, we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, um, let's talk instrumental. Obviously, Prod Jordan. Um, but you know, the instrumental mix, obviously being, you know, relatively simple. Um, the mix is great. You know, it like sometimes when it comes to simple instrumentals, you can find some clashing because it is so simple, right? So like because there is so much space to work with, sometimes shit does clash. But I did find on this one when it comes down to the instrumental and the vocals and just the instrumental, you know, by itself, nothing clashing at all. Nothing that I felt like was out of place or kind of like fighting for space or anything like that. Um all in all, definitely a nice, tight, solid, crisp, clean kind of mix when it comes to this style, you know. Not doing too much because you want to keep like the human kind of like the like honest element to it, but also at the same time you don't want to like leave it completely raw either, right? So it has that crispiness to it. Definitely right where it needs to be. So instrumental mix definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star, there's a lot of creativity here, right? I mean, like the melodies are great, but I mean, even just looking at the waveform, right? Um, the structure is something that you could totally look past and be like, yeah, it's sick, but it's not that sick. Like to me, I feel like the structure is like part of like how this song, or how really any song technically, kind of progresses your feelings and like how you. It's telling a story, you know. Sometimes you can tell a story through structure, and this is one where I do feel like it was telling a story, you know, especially with like the switch up towards the end, right? I mean, like I said, you can see it in the waveform. So structure to me here is like pretty underrated. Um, but like I said, the melodies are great. You know, it again, all this together kind of gives you that like closer kind of feel to it. So that's the other part about it. Um, you know, I'm big on the structure, man. I'm big on the structure. I'm not gonna lie to you. So let's go with structure, just because it felt like a story to me. So we're gonna roll with that. Definitely. I mean, like melody's right behind it, but structure got to be structure. Mm, so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. So we have almost like two types of vocal mixes here. You know, one for the first half and one for the second half, and I think they both work well. Again, because it's like pushing that story kind of narrative as to where the other half of the song really feels like the outro of the song. So it's like the outro of the outro. You know what I mean? Kind of has that like phone voicemail radio esque kind of feel to it in the second half, but the first half is a lot more like honest and in your face. You know. So for me, vocal mix all around was great, and I thought it was creative to like switch it up for the other one too. Um, Small shit like that is like not that big of a deal, but it makes like the world of difference in songs, right? So that's kind of like what gave it that like outro the outro kind of feel. Um, so for me, vocal mix fantastic, absolutely. On you know both ends of the track. So vocal shining star here. Hmm. You know, there's a lot I like about this, right? I mean, right off rip, I would say like the first 30 seconds instantly reminded me of like that 2022, early 2023 Jordan SLM kind of era, right? But as it progressed, it switched up and it kind of sounded like current Jordan. So there was a lot of like almost like a flashback blast from the past kind of feel on this. You know, because instantly it just reminded me of like old Jordan, right? So like the poetic kind of writing mixed with like these certain kind of flows that were like peaceful but yet like kind of like firm and like very like deliberate. um so it was a mix of stuff that I really enjoyed about this. I felt like there was a lot of great sides of Jordan packed into this one. Because again, it starts off slow, and then you know before we get to the switch up, it's kind of like back to current Jordan, and then the outro again is kind of giving that like outro the outro kind of feel to it. So we switch up the mix, and it kind of like has that closer outro feel. So man, like it just goes to show like the structure is like again super fucking underrated here. Like I could talk about that all day. But I do feel like the flows and cadences and the delivery was also a great point here. Um but then again there's the writing too, right? I mean like the writing with like how poetic yet honest it was. You know, you could really make an argument for any one of those. But I think I'm gonna go double structure. Structure for the instrumental was a shining star, and structure for the vocals. Just because it gave it that like full blown outro kind of feel. I feel like this song was created with like the outro mindset. I mean, it might have like came together later, but like as you're like doing the final touches and like doing the rest of the production on it, you can kind of like get that like outro kind of feel. So I feel like structure and like the design of this whole song was really nice, really nice, and definitely a great way to like end a project in my opinion. Absolutely. So instrumental solid, definitely. Vocal solid, definitely. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Now we have a little bit of a switch up. Wait, so is this the final cover here? Let's see. Okay, so art by the homie Michael. I mean, this could be another temp cover, but it could also be the final cover. So we don't know yet. We don't know yet. I guess we'll have to find out next week or whenever Jordan does promo. But kind of going back to this interesting kind of like art style of like almost has this like text history book feel to it, but it's also very like real. And like it has this like color palette that is so familiar to like Jordan and Make More Creative Junk and that whole crew. It just is so like me personally, like as a listener, like those aesthetics are like they come to mind first, right? So like when it comes to these like blues and these whites and these yellows, and especially those like browns and like those orangey browns, like I get reminded a lot of that like Dead Lighters era. So covers like this are always great for me. Just because over time you start to associate this style with these kinds of tracks, right? But for a full project, I mean, especially for like an EP or even just like a little project, totally solid, totally solid. Simple, but very effective. Because it's a simple concept, right? But again, one of those covers where the more you look at it, the more fine detail you kind of see. So there's a lot of positives there. But for a project, absolutely, definitely. I mean, it'd work either way, right? Like even for like a single, it would totally work. Um, but aesthetics definitely on point. Um, overall theme. So this one's kind of interesting, right? I wouldn't say that there's like a super like bam in your face kind of theme here. I do feel like this was like two concepts kind of combining into one, but I do also feel like the ideas here are also pretty similar. Um, you know, again, off rip, you kind of have this like poetic style of writing from Jordan, and then by the end, it's very honest and very um, like, what's the word? Like very out there and like very like Jordan again, much like I say all the time, like they don't pull any punches when it comes to their lyrics or how they feel or anything like that. So I do feel like the second half of the track definitely makes you feel a lot more, but the first half like builds it up a lot better. But again, this could also just be like two separate tracks or X, Y, or Z. So there's like a lot of, lore behind these kinds of tracks, right? Because like what it means to Jordan could, completely be something different than like what the listener gets or, X, Y, or Z. So I think that's why it's important for artists to kind of like be honest and like share their experiences and share their feelings, right? Because like what people get from it is like not up to you anyway. So it's like if they feel similar to you, I feel like tracks like these like bring that like connection to people. Like I feel like when people relate to your shit, it could be for like a multitude of reasons. But you're also writing shit for like a multitude of reasons. So, themes like this are like very interesting, right? Because there's obviously some like subtlety and there's some subliminal aspects of these lyrics, right? Um, but that's kind of like open for interpretation, and I think that's why like tracks like these that are honest but also like front and center are great because people can kind of relate to them in any way that they want to. So that's why again to like wrap that up, I think that projects like these where you kind of like you're not like going out of your way to like write about your emotions, but if you're like writing about your emotions in like because you want to or you need to get some shit off your chest or X, Y, or Z, I feel like these projects are like ultimately very not only therapeutic, but it's like good for like it's good to just get out there because you'd be surprised at how many scenarios people relate to when it comes to like the more like emotional side of music, right? And not even just like in acoustic or like alternative, genres. Like you see it in rap and hip hop all the time, you know. But yeah, as a person who does enjoy intros and outros, I feel like this fucking hit every mark for me. without a doubt, if this is how an album ended for me, I'd be satisfied for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. That was great. So with that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud. They're 2 followers away from 80, so go show him some love. And of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 510. Let's fucking go, man. Make sure you go show Jordan some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 or actually, no, we're not approaching 200 nothing. We are on the road finally to 300 subs, man. We're literally sitting at 291, I think. We upload videos every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks. A whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. And we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, that was our only Music Mondays Patreon of the night. So huge shout out to all of our current patrons. You guys are fucking beautiful. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan, Ryuki, King Mark, and all of our other Music Mondays patrons over there that are following and subscribe. You guys are awesome. So you guys know the drill. Let's go top to bottom per usual, and we'll just go in order and see how far down we get. So we left off with the homie Jordan. Up next is the homie Sam's Raps. Now Sam's has been killing it, man. You know, a real raw, naturally talented hip hop artist. You know, a lot of their submissions here on the show have just been really like pushing the fucking bar. You know what I mean? Like really pushing the bar, and they're just fun. You know, like this is an artist that is not only very skilled but also like has fun when they create. Right? You can just tell that they have fun. But with that said, they submitted a track titled "After Party Fun." You know, funny enough. Let's see what we got here. So it is a rough draft. I am down. I am so down. Okay. So we got a little mansion vibe for the cover. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. Sam's Raps, exclusive unreleased track, After Party Fun. Rough drafts, by the way. Well, let's get it. Interesting instrumental.
I wanna run to you, but not sure I'm enough for you. Could've been a teacher too, it turns out there's no substitute. Reaping so-and-so's got someone else to be tonight, so I just put the mic on you. Like this. You clowns will laugh about the rapture, but crack a smile when I'm speaking, you are getting captured. Faster, steal all your data and your passwords. I'm trying to move forward, but the heads turn backwards. Bastards. Give a fuck if you're a product, you're a non-factor. Indivisible from any rapper coming after. Cattle, Jackson Pollock, when I spit it, you can check the splatter. The last thing you ever hear is me cackling. The elusivest loudmouth, I terrorize the booth, the music asked me to calm down. I'm fluent in the game, you still gotta sound it out. Truth is, you're in a cumulus cloud of doubt. Life's a long shadow cast by a black sun. Take what you got and run, there ain't much time to just have fun. But when the day is done, I put my feet up and crack one. You're in a losing war, under thumb you've been outdone. You know, it all becomes dust at the end.
Oh shit.
At the end of the day. So if you're wasting time hating us, you got no taste. In which case, suck a dick. You know it all becomes dust at the end of the day. So if you're wasting time hating us, you got no taste. In which case, just had some venom in the pen, man. Gotta get it out. I'm the brainiac, maniac, here to skin you zany cast. To clearly back the corporate staff to only get a portion back. It's sad you're forcing that, you couldn't hack it, tame the craft. Face the facts, you shameless hacks, your life's a fucking waste at that. Potato on the musket, pump you full of russets. Your clowns are hash browns, not crispy, it's disgusting. Glutton for punks running, bludgeoning, blood gushing. You wanna hold something, here you go, stud muffin. Huff puff, fuck 'em up by the dozen. Suck it up, take your lumps, lock 'em up in a dungeon. Crunch the numbers in the sun was chum, all in a bucket. Your girl told me come, so I munched her for luncheon.
Damn. Okay. That was interesting, man. The instrumental too was like a very interesting choice. But let's talk about it, man. Let's get into it. What's poppin'? Sam's Raps. What's good? Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. So I need sub. Yeah, shout out the heads, man. Shout out the fucking heads. No worries. No worries. We're about to get into it. So, um, all right. Let's talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of After Party Fun. So, instrumental, like I said, I like the choice here. I like the choice. It's not like obscure or like experimental. I feel like the sound design and like the sound selection was very interesting. It has like a classic E kind of feel to it, but very like unique almost. I don't know, but I like the style. It's very Sam's kind of style, if I do say so, for sure. So I like the choice. Instrumental mix is solid though. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that really stuck out to me that was like super off-putting or anything like that. Again, sound selection was solid. Everything really complemented each other. Nothing really that I thought needed to be changed or anything like that. I mean, not really a shocker when it comes to Sam's, and even for like a demo, I thought it was pretty solid and nice and level. You know what I mean? So nothing I would really like go out of my way to change here as far as the instrumental goes. Um, so instrumental mix very solid. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. Um, the melody was very like attention grabbing. I do feel like the melody was very much like made you like kind of pay attention to what was about to happen. But the drums were solid too. Plays all those instruments live except the drums. Right, right, right. So has this real like natural kind of feeling to it. Definitely. You can tell. Um Probably the melody, cuz like I said, like once the melody kind of comes on, it's very hard to not pay attention to this track. But the drums are a great support, right? Obviously keeping up the rhythm, kind of making you move a little bit, but the melody's definitely up there for me. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Obviously a rough demo, so you don't really want to dive too much into the mix. I mean, we don't normally dive too much into the mix here on the show anyway. We're more of like a quality um kind of listen rather than like, you're mixing preferences when it comes to effects and things like that. Because again, that is just preference, but when it comes to quality, um with this even just being a demo and just probably having some light effects on it if anything, it's still solid. You know what I mean? Like nothing that I would again, obviously it being a demo, it'll probably be improved and final and whatnot, but for where it is now, the mix is very listenable. You know what I mean? It's not like very obviously raw. It's not kind of uh like it's not really clashing with anything or like really like being in the way. You know what I mean? For a demo, it's definitely right where it needs to be, no question. Um, so vocal mix definitely solid, especially for a demo. Vocal Shining Star. I'm torn between two things here. Um, I do feel like writing is up there, right? I definitely feel like writing is up there. But um a flow and cadence and delivery was like again much like the melody, like it made you pay attention, and not only made you pay attention to the song, but it made you pay attention to the writing itself. Sometimes you have those flows and cadences that just like enhance the writing even more, right? So you're paying attention to the punchlines more, you're paying attention to the wordplay more, just because of how the artist is flowing, and this is one of those songs for me. So for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery, but writing is a close second. But flow here was great, definitely. Again, it makes you pay attention. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics wise, obviously, kind of had this like mansion esque like after party kind of feel to it, right? But it feels like a rich after party though. You know what I mean? Because it has this like old school like like mansion that's been around since like the 1800s kind of vibe to it. I like this cover a lot because it's civil. Like obviously, you know, a rough demo, so not official cover or anything like that. But I do like it as a placeholder, just because if you're gonna call a song After Party or After Party Fun, this is one that kind of feels like a mansion esque after party in the hills. You know what I mean? Kind of, you know, my grandparents are away. Come stay in this like 5,000 square foot fucking mansion kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It's like a huge party going on there. It's all like the rich kids and shit. But I like the aesthetics choice a lot. Really good point about how Kane's calls the listener to catch bars better. Yeah, like the only reason I make that point too was because I had noticed it doing the show so much. To be honest with you, like doing the show really like pointed that out to me as to where I was like, sometimes like the way that people flow and like kind of like deliver bars makes even like simple writing like 10 times more efficient and like better on the ear as well. So it's a very interesting concept for sure. The pic I took of a room in a mini institute art in Chicago is supposed to be like the parlor from the 1800s. Yeah, like that old school 1800s look. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Like even as like a temp cover, like I thought this was like really solid, really solid. Um, so aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, after party fun. It definitely does feel like one of those tracks where you know Sam was just kind of having fun, you know, and they really kind of like took this instrumental and was like, okay, like let's see what I can come up with, and it does feel like one of those like, you know, last one's up at the party, you know, you want to go record a song, it's like 4 a.m. and then this is like the type of shit that you come up with, you know what I mean? It does have that feel to it, as to where it's just like one of those like off the dome kind of like not really freestyle, but it's not really like it feels like one of those late night tracks where you just get it done like super fast, but it still comes out like really fucking insane. Um, yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And again, much like Sam's, you know, library, you kind of always want to go back for more listens just to pick up on bars and punchlines and things like that that you might have not really picked up with on the first time. You know what I mean? Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. What me and my friends freestyle about after everyone left the party, right? It totally gave me that vibe. So I feel like you did nail it as far as like not only the aesthetics, but like the way the song was like presented and like the way it listens and the way it plays is very much like late night after party vibes. So I do feel like you're very on point with that. And for those of you that are not new here, Sam's has been very like on point with a lot of their themes, you know, like very much on point. No matter what they kind of rap about or write songs about. So this one's definitely like right up that alley for sure. And definitely one you want to pay attention to the writing and just appreciate the lyrical ability for. Definitely. But with that said, huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. And make sure you go follow them on Twitter, man. They're 7 followers away from 920. So go show them some love with the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 and... I keep saying 200 because we're finally on the road to fucking 300, man. We're finally fucking there. We're like 9 followers away from 300 on the channel, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz over there. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Appreciate the love, homie. Thanks so much. Yeah, of course. Thank you for your submission, my friend. Let's fucking get it. Thank you. Well done. Well fucking done. So, we left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is Lucha Libro. Now, it's been a couple weeks since we heard from the homie Lucha, man. Wow. So, a very talented alternative-esque kind of like high energy type of artist here. And they submitted a track titled Sepia. Lucha Libro. Man, I'm excited because I'm curious if this is new. This has been a while. 2024. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's a little 2-track EP. Okay. September 2nd. So yeah, definitely new. Like brand new. Okay. Let's get into it. Lucha Libro, Sepia, let's go. Oh shit.
saturación. Es una esponja estaño pensando en color, absorbiendo los pigmentos y pausando el dolor. Ay, por favor, que no sea así, ni en sepia, ni en escala de gris.
Interesting mix here.
Mucha tecnología, pero muy poca diversión. Mucha teoría, pero en la práctica se ve que no hay solución. Todos y todas ya no están, te has hecho un náufrago social. Tampoco está tan mal. Mucha tecnología, pero muy poca diversión. Mucha teoría, pero en la práctica se ve que no hay solución. Mucha teología, poca innovación. Sin solución. Viva la lucha, qué mal dinero, ¿pa' qué más?
Okay. So this was great, man. Like I said, it's been a while since you heard from Lucha, but this is like a very interesting kind of direction, right? Cuz hearing this kind of makes me realize how versatile they are as an artist. Like they're very very versatile. They can quite literally do like so many different styles of like acoustic rock, alt rock, really like pushing the boundaries of like even like folk rock, it's really pushing it. So this was great. This was very cool and raw. It is very raw, and raw in like a good way. um where some of the acoustic kind of styles, like, sometimes they take the rawness out, and this is one that definitely does not. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break this down. So we are going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Sepia. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is very interesting because, again, it's very raw, but it's also pretty clear too. Like it's a very solid mix for like what this is, So realistically, I have no gripes with the instrumental mix. Especially with it being so raw. Like, obviously it could be cleaned up a bit more, right? But if you're kind of mixing everything yourself, and you're learning as you go, I definitely don't think it's the worst. You know what I mean? It's definitely not that bad. Um, but it does give it that like raw kind of feel to it as well. So, either way. But with that said, instrumental mix not too shabby whatsoever. The sound selection was good. Vocals sat nice. Nothing that I'd really like ultimately change that much about this. It's pretty well done. So, So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Um, I will say the structure is really solid. For it being like only like 2 to 3 sounds when it comes to the instrumental, I do feel like the structure was pretty solid, especially with like the harmonica getting thrown in there and like really kind of like pushing a little bit of like a folk esque kind of feel. I like that a lot. It's really well done, man. It's really well done. So, um, instrumental shining star, probably the structure. If you're gonna have like a simple instrumental, I do feel like the structure sometimes can be like so crucial, and I feel like Lucha did a really good job with this one. So, definitely structure when it comes down to instrumental. All right, let's talk vocals. So, vocal mix. All right. Again, kind of raw, but not really for the style, right? I do feel like the style like kind of supports that like raw mix to it. Very acousticy, very like raw style of mixing, which again, I don't think is like a super bad thing at all. Because we've heard like other lucha styles and they tend to lean towards the more like raw-esque kind of styles. Um, but this one is definitely up there for sure. I mean, nothing clashing too bad. The vocals kind of sitting nicely in the middle, so nothing really that crazy. Obviously, it could be a little bit more crispier. It could have a little bit more reverb, but for where it is right now, I think it's decent. You know what I mean? I definitely think it's decent. So, um, vocal mix solid. Um, vocal shining star. I do feel like the hook is up there. I definitely feel like the hook is up there. But flow and cadence and delivery is also pretty solid. I mean, there are some like really decent melodic parts to this. So that's the other thing is like there is like a lot of potential here. There is like a lot. So, hmm. I would say I would say flow and cadence and delivery. To be honest with you, definitely flow and cadence and delivery, 100%, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So we do have a little 2-track EP here, and that's also called Sepia. But I love Lucha's covers. These are like such interesting and like very consistent covers as well, right? Like that's the one thing you can always count on is like they'll be very consistent when it comes to schemes and colors and really like their overall vibe when it comes down to their cover art. So again, a very yellowy orange-esque kind of vibe going on here, which I really like. I really like, especially for like a 2-track EP. Very solid. Very solid. Um so yeah, aesthetics on point, definitely, to be honest with you. I like the subtle vibe of this one, but it does scream project to me. So I feel like it works. I definitely feel like it works. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme of Sepia. Obviously, this one's definitely gonna be ranging from, one of those ones where the listener's gonna interpret it one way, and Lucha definitely wrote it for a certain purpose as well, right? So they could have a totally different meaning than to what the average listener could get from this. But it's definitely one as to where like if you can, fully dive into these lyrics, I definitely recommend you do. Of course, like for me, only speaking English, like we can only dive so hard into it, right? But I do feel like Lucha does a good job kind of actually putting a lot of like meaning and passion behind their tracks, right? Especially when they record and things like that. So this was very interesting. Very interesting. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge out of 2. Sepia, make sure you go show him some love on Spotify. And Lucha Libro. Of course, make sure you go show Lucha some love on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Lucha Libro on Twitter. They are 20 followers away from 200. Make sure you go show them some love in the bird out, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 we're approaching 300 subscribers, man. We're literally 9 away. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Well, let's fucking get it. So, all right. Let's get into it, my friends. We left off with the homie Lucha Libro. Up next is the homie Onwuka. So Onwuka's a super fucking talented artist, man. They've been submitting quite the library for the last couple of months, right? Everything from lyric videos to collabs to singles to just a lot of just such a big variety, man. And this is quite the hip hop artist. Like this is quite the versatile artist, man. We've seen a lot from Onwuka, but this week they submitted a track titled African Balla. African Balla. The song is about compare myself. Okay, he was legitimately one of my biggest inspirations growing up. Try to be like him in all aspects of the song is honoring him and showcasing some of his sick. Wait, that's fire. Okay. And this one's actually from 2021, so not like super new, but not super old either, right? Kind of like in the middle. Let's see here. So this was a single too. So this just was a regular single. Okay. But it does say Onwuka Classics though. It might still be on there. Interesting. All right, let's get into it. Onwuka, African Balla. Let's go.
Greetings, fellow warriors. I've thought about this flow since I've been about 15 or 16 years old. But now it's time for me to teach you, like he taught me, how to be an African Balla.
Oh shit.
I'm an African Balla, just like T'Challa. If you were trying to stand up for your people, then holla. I'm an African Balla, just like T'Challa. If you were trying to stand up for your people, then holla. In that heroic phase, take a look at my stoic face. Wanna team up when you see me, bruh? Now you should just go away. This is my burden and my burden alone. I gotta work for the throne, that's why I be murking them. So what? I stay harder than vibranium when I be slaying them with the fatal flame. Show you it's my time like a Damian Lillard for real. Watch me coming down like a jungle's rain and wind. Create a breeze, rap alchemist, lyrically create an ease. But they tell me to rein it in. I just want my reign to win. Others' lives are control like somebody is playing Sims. You know I stay lit and go in like an energy blade. When my words in the verse rip, you can watch my enemies lay. Secretive when I creep and dip is how my tendencies say. See me slice it up so tough with a sword with the ebony glaze. My ancestors will go against anyone who thinks they're heavily made. So it don't mean that much when they tell me I better be repping my stage. And Gilbert Arenas, hibachi hot, I mentally flame the beat until it's underneath a bunch of bars next to a reef of a sunken island prison, still wet to this day. I'm the African Balla, my true weapon's my brain. I'm an African Balla, just like T'Challa. If you were trying to stand up for your people, then holla. I'm an African Balla, just like T'Challa. If you were trying to stand up for your people, then holla. True ballers wanna get away. Check it out, I know a place called Wakanda. A mix of youth Nigerian knowledge on how to get shrewd dollars. My focus leads to a lonely stage, but to be a king you need to know people, the power that won't fade. So much soul in my flow, you can call me the king of the dead. I talk to my girl like she an assassin, I tell her bring me the head. Immature line, but I'm sure in mine I mean what I said. Hit the scene like BP, players tell me GG as I spring for the bread. A sickness like mine is not easily spread. Olympic fitness, spit it, just stay for life. It don't matter if I walk off the edge of a huge steepy ledge. I'm killing blows, really though, you know I'm breathing death. Yeah, and I and a man can send a beam from the chest, but an African baller's mixes of souls gives a demon weak flesh. Sublime kinds of divine rhymes I seem to possess. I have the style, see me cruising off like I copped a Panther Psycho. They say this rapper psycho.
Holy shit.
Crash just to ignite flows. A baller ain't nerfed, I'm writing endlessly like a scholar's pages of words, hitting some heart-shaped herb, and I'm a scene with the best. Dame with some dark gray curves makes it so hot you can see the steam from her dress as she takes a drink and we flex. They trying to get a black one, I'm trying to get myself a Kamoyo card and like a cell phone service. I grind to serve more bars, I'm not your boy, but this not your boy. Murk this flow so hard that I bet y'all got nervous. For sure I straight low, stay throw like an energy dagger, and buy all the a time I see all my enemies scatter. The venom be shattered, slice them down to the last molecule with my claws until they're tattered pieces of matter. They tried to introduce themselves, but I keep it so player, so you know that I don't care. I'm the African baller, just like T'Challa. If you were trying to stand up for your people, then holla. They be like, what about Shuri? I told you I am T'Challa. I don't be hating on my older brothers just because they're your father.
What the fuck? Yo, the last like minute 50 of this was fucking insane. This motherfucker did not stop. Holy shit. That was actually nuts. Like what the fuck? That had you locked in, especially like the second half of that. That was crazy. That was actually fucking crazy. Wow. Wow. And then like the concept is like so sick. Like I feel like Onwuka like didn't stray off topic like one time. Like this very much is like such a consistent theme. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. Okay, well done. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of African Balla. So instrumental. Instrumental is really nuts here. It's such an interesting choice. Like, you know, Onwuka is such a interesting artist when it comes to their instrumental choices, because they pick instrumentals that some artists would just stay so far away from, and like they make them work. Like Onwuka actually makes them work to their advantage and like actually makes them sound easy, right? But I do feel like certain instrumentals, like a lot of artists would just completely stay away from. You know what I mean? Like completely stay away from, and like this is one where I'm blown away that Onwuka was able to slide and like walk on this beat like they did, you know? It's really cool to see. It's really, really cool to see. But I like the choice. Instrumental mix is solid, nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that really like stuck out to me as like super off-putting. Sound selection was great, like I said. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I would change about this at all, to be honest with you. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. It's got to be the melodies. I mean, like the drums are definitely up there, right? But the melodies here, especially like the horns and like the overall sound selection, is just like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's so memorable, and like the horns are so like they're just so well done, man. I'm big on these melodies here, but I do feel like the drums were a close second, for sure, a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, of course, fantastic. I mean, for those of you that are new here, that's not really a shocker. Everything from Onwuka over the last, like, 10 to 20 submissions that they've done has had a really solid fucking mix, if I'm being honest with you. Like, a really solid mix. Especially for their vocals. Like, the overall tracks are great, but, like, their vocals in general, like, they have a really solid, natural, raw voice. That's something you want to, that's something you always want to, like, take advantage of and exploit, right? And really use to your advantage. And, especially for this kind of, like, styles, right? But, Onwuka has had just, like, such a consistent mix. It's something you always want to point out, for anybody new here, but definitely not really a shocker, They definitely have a very consistent vocal mix. And it's always super crisp, clear, clean, and right where it needs to be, 100%. So, vocal mix, definitely solid. Vocal shining star. I mean, it's kind of a heavy tie between writing and flow and cadence and delivery. I mean, the writing was so... Like, when you write about shit that you're passionate about, man, you can just write, like, forever. And I felt like Onwuka was very passionate about this topic. So it was very easy for them to kind of, like, write bar after bar after bar and punchline after punchline. And just the amount of wordplay that was in here was just fantastic, So, I'm kind of torn between writing and flow and cadence and delivery. Definitely. Probably writing. I do feel like, the second half of the song was fucking insane. There were so many bars and, like, lines being thrown at you that like there's no way that you pick up everything on the first listen. There's just no way. You know what I mean? There's just absolutely no way. So for me, definitely writing. No question. No question. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Love this cover. For multiple reasons, but I think the main one that comes to mind is like how consistent Onwuka has been for their covers, right? They have this like very cartoon-esque style, but it's not very like full-blown cartoon. It has this like flat kind of feel to it. It's a very interesting kind of style. But then it gets switched up with the text, and then you add in the panther, and it's just great. It's just great for a single. Absolutely great for a single. I've always liked concepts like these, you know what I mean? But the fact that Onwuka has been like so consistent with their like cartoon-esque style, fantastic. Fantastic. Overall theme, I mean, I feel like Onwuka definitely, again, really explained it pretty well for us. I mean, the Black Panther, he was legitimately one of my biggest inspirations growing up. I tried to be like him in hella aspects. There's a song honoring him and showcasing some of his sick feats. Yeah, and like the way that Onwuka wrote about this, again, back to the point of like writing about shit that you're passionate about, you can really write your ass off if it's like something you really care about, right? Much like most people can, but I feel like Onwuka like took that to like a whole new level here with this kind of track, so super well done. Super well done. A really solid concept and a really good execution. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Onwuka. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 780, so make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. Finally, we upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Thank you. See you guys dropping likes, all that love, and all those comments. Get it, baby. All right. Let's fucking get it. So. Let's see here. All right. So we left off with the homie Onwuka. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, Offspring, a multi-talented artist, everything from production to music production to video editing to writing to designing. This is quite the multi-talented individual. But this week they submitted a video titled Eerie Notification. Okay, so this could be crazy. And there's 3 dots as the submission description. So I'm excited, man. What are we gonna get here? What the fuck are we gonna get here? All right, let's go 1080. All right, let's get into it. Offspring Mysterious Eerie Notification. Let's go. I heard that. Oh shit. Oh shit. What are we getting on September? Oh shit. Wait, here's the thing. Computer watching video from my favorite YouTubers. When I see this serious message on a number, Asked who you, I got no reply. He told me to go to this location, see something special. I don't know if I'm being pranked or somebody trying to set me up. It tells me something I should go. I hope it doesn't cost my life. Shit. Okay. This is getting interesting now. This is getting very interesting now because now we're invested. Now we're invested. Now we have to wait to see what the fuck happens here. I like this concept a lot. I like this concept a whole lot, especially just in time for like September, October. This will be very interesting. I wonder what Offspring has up their sleeve. I'm very interested now. I'm very, very interested. Perfect description, to be honest with you. Light, links below. Damn, I'm kind of invested now. I'm invested. I really want to know what happens after this. Shit. That's so crazy. Oh my god. Okay. So now we gotta know by next Monday. Shit, we should have our answer. See you next week, anonymous source. Let's fucking get it, Offspring. Welcome on in. Happy Monday, my friend. But this was great. Like this again, like had me invested like right off rip. You know what I mean? So this will be awesome. I'm definitely excited. Shining Star here is definitely the concept because now I'm invested. Now I'm definitely invested. Now we get to see here live on the show what happens to Offspring and in the Walking Onslaughts. Shit. And then Offspring just dips out. Damn. September 13th, 2024. Let's fucking get it, man. Let's fucking get it. Shining Star is definitely the concept here. No doubt. Shining Star is definitely the concept. It's not even a question. Not even a question, for sure. Well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Make sure you go show some love to Offspring on YouTube, man. There are 8 subs away from 230. Make sure you go show them some love over there on YouTube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are 6 followers away from 920. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subaroonies, man. We are 9 away, so make sure you go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. Much love for Music Mondays. And I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments. Even if you're just watching the videos, man, you guys are amazing. So thank you. But, so, with that said, we are just about halfway through the show. So you guys know the drill. We're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we return, we are going to hop right back into some more reactions and reviews. Make sure you get up, go get a snack, go get a bathroom break, go get a smoke break, go walk the dog, go do whatever you need to do. But when we return, we're going to hop right back into it. So you guys know the drill. Don't go anywhere. And we'll be right back with the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 190. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 190. Welcome on in, my friends. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into some reactions and reviews. So, let's off with the homie Oscar Mysterious. Up next is the homie Philip Foxley. I don't think we've reacted to Philip on Music Mondays podcast. I believe they've made a couple editions of SoundCloud Sunday, but I'm not sure that we've reacted to them here on the show. So I'm down. Let's get into it. So, they submitted a track titled She Burned Me Down. How about my latest blues rock song release, She Burned Me Down? Stylistic influences ZZ Top and okay. All right, let's get it, Philip. My latest, and it's from 2021, so not exactly brand new, but not exactly super old either. Let's see. All right, let's get into it. Philip Foxley, She Burned Me Down. Let's go. Oh shit. Wow. Impressive. Very impressive, holy shit.
We started so right. We got so drunk that very night. Oh, how we laughed and how we partied. The best of times, I'm broken hearted. Wow, she brought me down. Ooh, yeah. The day came, I didn't plan it. I just thought that enough was enough. And like the girl who wasn't very nice to me. Oh, baby.
Okay, so much to discuss here. I have some interesting thoughts about this, and overall, like I feel like this concept was a very solid, and it's there. It's definitely there. But this did come out in 2021, so I'm curious. Okay, so they have been releasing music recently. Okay. So that was just more of like an older esque release. All right. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break this down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of She Burned Me Down. So, let's talk instrumental because I feel like the instrumental is like such a fucking strong point. Extremely well done. Like extremely fucking well done. Everything from the mix to the sound selection to quite literally everything, man. Like I have no gripes with this mix like at all. Structure was crazy, but um nothing I would change here, like whatsoever. Definitely nothing I would change here as far as the mix goes. Nothing clashing too overbearing, nothing that I would ultimately fix or switch up or anything like that. Crisp, clean, to the point, and definitely right where it needs to be. All right, so instrumental mix definitely solid. Let's hear. All right, so like I said, instrumental mix solid. Actually really solid, like super fucking fantastic. Instrumental shining star. Um, I do feel like structure was up there. Um, but the melodies were like really, really fucking insane too. Drums were up there. Um, hmm. Um, I'm kind of torn between the melodies and the structure. I feel like the melodies and the structure are definitely like two top contenders here. Probably the structure, especially, the song clocks in at what, 3:36? Yeah, so the structure is really well done for the length. Like really, really fucking well done. So for me, definitely structure 100%. Um so instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Jara, what's good? Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday, my friend. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream and family. Let's get it. Um so yeah, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals and vocal mix. So, vocal mix, relatively simple, not much post processing going on here. Backing vocals are solid, but the one thing that I would switch up here is ultimately the delivery. The delivery sounds very rough and gritty, like almost like it's almost taking away from the potential of the natural voice actually doing its thing, right? I do feel like the way that they're delivering these vocals is a bit jarring for the instrumental. You know what I mean? So I definitely would recommend kind of switching up the vocal style, right? I feel like the way that everything's being delivered is taking away from not only the instrumental but the whole concept of the song. You know what I mean? Like the whole concept of the song is very like well done. It's like super solid, but the delivery is kind of like taking it in a different direction, right? So the vocal mix itself was solid. No complaints there when it comes down to the vocal mix, but the way that the vocals are being delivered is definitely something to be worked on for sure. Um so vocal mix solid for what it is, right? Vocal shining star. Definitely the writing. I feel like writing was really on point here. I feel like Philip definitely fucking nailed it when it comes down to telling a story, really how they feel, and a whole lot of other things. To be honest with you, like this is definitely a great story song. So the writing was there 100%. So for me, definitely writing. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics. I kind of like this. I'm not gonna lie, it's super simple, right? Very minimalistic, but the thing that like sold it for me was the Philip Foxley in the bottom right in like this plain ass font. It just kind of reminds me of like that like early like 2000s Windows kind of feel to it. Like it's very interesting. Um, but I do like it for a single, right? Very minimalist, but gets the job done, you know. So aesthetics definitely on point. Definitely on point. Overall theme, She Burned Me Down. So I mean, realistically, um, relatively obvious theme, but I definitely think it's a theme that almost anybody can relate to, right? You know, when you have a partner in life that you kind of like crash out over, or makes you crash out because they're a crash out, and you know, some people are just like not compatible, but they're also compatible at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting things. Um, it's just a very interesting like concept when it comes to uh humans and relationships, when it's like toxic but it's not toxic. It's this weird in between kind of feeling, right? um you know, and I feel like everybody kind of goes through it at least once. You know, you have that like really like toxic either toxic person in your life, or person that makes you toxic, right? And I do feel like songs like this definitely touch on that, and it's a good way to get those like feelings off your chest when it comes to uh you know, experiencing that type shit. Canon event, right? Exactly, very much a canon event. I do feel like you know, no matter who you are, you definitely kind of go through that at least once, right? um so yeah, very much a solid theme and a very relatable theme at that. But also one, it's just great to get those thoughts off your chest. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Philip Foxley. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Philip on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 5.7K on the Bird app, so make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We are quite literally 9 away. So if you're not subbed to the channel, make sure you go do so, because we upload videos every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see. We left off with homie Philip Foxley. Up next is the Single Digits. Now, Single Digits has had a really solid 2024. They're super talented when it comes to their sound, and this kind of like alternate direction that that they took. And this week they submitted a track titled "Hit or Miss." New song from the new album. Thank you for your submission, my friends. Let's fucking get it. So I'm down. Let's pop it in a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Single Digits, Hit or Miss, Sunday Morning Throwing Down. Wow, 11 tracks dropped on July 19th. Getting too old for this pit. I'm pretty sure we reacted to that one. I feel like we've reacted to at least like one or two of these, definitely. But this week they submitted, I believe, Hit or Miss, right? Yep, Hit or Miss. Okay, track 2 on the project. I'm down. Single Digits, Hit or Miss, let's go. Holy shit. No way. Wow.
The media tries to downplay the casualties. I see the suffering and it's hard enough to despise. Displaying images cut from mentality. Disregard your dark state of mind. Hands around each other's throats. Violence no one should ever know. Hit or miss it comes. Round and round it goes. We don't have any sympathy. True failure of ability to see the other side. Round and round it goes.
The instrumental is fucking crazy.
Petrified of the thoughts found inside of me. I fear the future that our kids will realize. All the hatred publicized, I can't believe. Disregard
Oh my. That was crazy. I mean, I can't say I'm fucking surprised, but the single digits have just like leveled up their sound in a way that's just so it's leagues ahead. It's like leagues ahead. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It still has this like raw independent DIY kind of feel, but it's so crisp, clean, and like very much uh original, and like I don't know, it has such a feel to it that's it's crazy to hear this kind of sound, you know. Uh Especially this well done in 2024. Um but let's break it down. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get into it. So, um we're talking about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Hit or Miss. So, let's talk instrumental. Uh, Literally fucking fantastic. Nothing clashing, overbearing. Vocals set nice. Drums cut through nicely. Pace is great. High energy throughout. Like I said, sound selection was solid. I mean, thinking back on it, bro, like even the structure, like nothing I would change about this instrumental at all. Like literally nothing. Instrumental mix very much on point. Usually that is the case for the single digits, but that's something you always want to point out just in case you're new here. You know what I mean? But not exactly a surprise, right? Um, so let's see. Instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Um, hmm. You know, I love a lot of the finer details, right? Like the melodies are great, the drums are great. Um, but I think one thing we definitely can't ignore is the structure. I feel like the structure here is just like what the fuck. You know what I mean? Is just really like what the fuck. Especially clocking in at what 3:30. Yeah. So structure again is just something that's got to be like not super erratic, but it's got to be dropping in at the right places. It's got to be slowing down at the right places. Like structure for certain instrumentals and certain tracks is super fucking important. And yeah, I feel like the structure is definitely a shining star here, no question. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, super fucking solid. The single digits has like such a great natural raw voice that like you kind of want to exploit that and not go like super far into the post processing, but you definitely want to clean it up, make it crisp, clean, clear, nice and loud but not too loud. Kind of like hits that nice middle ground. You know what I mean? Um, and the vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely, like I said. Nothing again really when it comes to the vocals that I think needs to be changed whatsoever. They have a pretty good lock on pretty much every aspect of their vocals, right? Whether it's just the verses or regular lines or the more melodic parts. I definitely feel like their mix is definitely on point here for sure. Um, so vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Um, writing's up there, but I feel like one thing I took from this was the hook. You know what I mean? I really feel like the hook is just super catchy, but also super memorable. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that I took from this. It's definitely the hook. So for me, hook is definitely a shining star. Instrumental, solid. Shining star definitely a structure. Vocal solid. Shining star is definitely the hook. For sure the hook. Okay, so let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Okay, so this is the second track from the project Sunday Morning Throwing Down. I love the cover concept. It kind of has this like cyber vaporwave-esque kind of feel to it, but not really. You have the single digits logo and then the text in the bottom and the top. Like it definitely has a project feel to it. So it's definitely hitting all the boxes when it comes to like a full length, right? So aesthetics definitely on point. Definitely on point for a project for sure. Overall theme, hit or miss. The single digits is very adamant and very outspoken against government corruption and corruption in general, and they do a really good job kind of explaining their feelings towards the world and governments and oppression and things like that in a really good way. You know what I mean? They really know how to get shit off their chest. And this is another one of those tracks where I feel like it's gonna hit home for like the right people, but also even if you're not really like relating super heavy, you're still gonna enjoy it sonically and for what it has to offer when it comes to the sound, right? So, well done, my friend. Well done. That's a great second track. That is a great fucking second track. With that said, huge shout out to the Single Digits. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow the Single Digits on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 490. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300, man. It's gonna take a minute because we're at 290 for like a fucking ever, man. We're at 290 for like a grip, but finally approaching 300, man. I think we're about 8 or 9 away. So make sure you go show the channel some love and go show these artists some love. Of course, huge shout out to everybody that already has. Thank you. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. It's much appreciated. Let's get it. So we left off with the homie Single Digits. Up next is Marco Pernice. Been a while since you heard from the homie Marco, man. Been quite a minute actually. But this week they submitted No Pressure for Us, and it's got 3 artists on it. I'm very interested. Okay. And yeah, this is a very talented alternative rock artist, Marco Pernice, by the way. And like I said, they submitted a track titled No Pressure for Us. Let's see what we got. I'm down, my friends. Okay, so this looks like to be from their project titled Oblivion with 2 tracks. So a little bit of a 2-track EP there. I like that. Okay. They submitted a track titled No Pressure for Us. Let's get into it. Marco Pernice, No Pressure for Us. Let's go.
New York City.
Okay.
York City, Hollywood.
Very interesting track. I mean, like, you know, Marco is definitely known for this like versatile genre blending esque kind of style, right? And man, this is definitely pushing that bar for sure. Definitely pushing that bar. But let's get into it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about two things because not much vocals to go over here. I would say it's just like one verse in the hook, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's pretty much just the hook. So we'll talk about two things. We'll talk about the instrumental, and we'll talk about the overall theme of No Pressure for Us. So, instrumental mix very solid, especially with like the wide variety of sounds here. I definitely feel like the mix is very, very solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums do well, melodies do well, sound selection solid. Nothing I would like ultimately change on here. That's like really crazy. Um, yeah, I'm definitely big on this mix, especially because again, if you're gonna try to blend genres and really like push the bar when it comes to certain stuff, you definitely gotta make sure your mix is solid, right? And this one's definitely up there when it comes to that. So, um, so instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Um, you know the melodies are definitely up there, but I feel like structure's pretty underrated. Um, hmm. You know, probably the structure. I felt like the structure didn't get stale, especially for a 4 minute track. I definitely feel like the structure was up there. It wasn't like too erratic, but it definitely didn't get stale. It definitely dropped out when it needed to and definitely came back in when it needed to. Um, so for me, definitely structure, 100%. Um, so instrumental solid. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. So this is a 2 track EP, titled Oblivion, and it's solid. You know what I mean? It kind of gives me that like indie horror movie kind of vibe a little bit, but like also um very like dark as well. It's got a couple styles to it, but I like the red text on it for sure. Oblivion bottom right, Marco Fernis and Antonio Grilli in the left. So I like that. I like that, especially for like a project. It definitely screams project cover, you know. Um, so aesthetics definitely on point. Um, Overall theme, no pressure for us. Pretty much in the hook, right? I mean, like it definitely has that like dance club esque, no pressure. You know, just kind of like go with the flow kind of vibe, you know. No pressure. Like doesn't matter like what comes in front of me. It's no pressure. Doesn't matter like X, Y, or Z. No pressure. You know what I mean? So it has a deep meaning like that for me. But also a very simple kind of like party esque DJ track that I definitely feel like wouldn't be bad to get a crowd started with. You know, so definitely a solid theme there, no doubt. Definitely a solid theme. But with that said, huge shout out to Marco. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Marco on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Marco on Twitter. Marco is approaching 1.6K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show him some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subaroonies, my friends. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. It's much appreciated. You guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Thank you. So, up next would be the homie Jordan, but we had already reacted to Jordan's submission earlier in the show because Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon. So make sure you go check out our Patreon and go show Jordan some love, and go check out their submission from earlier in the show. But after that, up next, we would have the homie Money Green Music. Now, the homies at MGM have been killing it as far as their recent submissions go here on the show. So I'm definitely down for another one. A very talented hip-hop crew submitted a track titled One Time with the homie Melman. Let's see what we got here. I am down, my friends. All right, so Melman 54, Shapeshifter, Dre, One Time, Money Green Music. Let's get into it.
It's me. It's him. Kurt? No
want consistency, get a fiend that get the first of the month. Keep they card and don't give them no fronts. Go ahead and stack that. Show them niggas who get last laugh. Dirty niggas in the hood still going bag. VVS is real flawless. And my bitch real gorgeous, ballin', spoilin'. Carrot X6 cream soda seats. Leather so soft, who else could it be? Caviar pudding, champagne chasers. Feel so good when you started from the basement. Got my old hoes spinning cause they see a nigga winning. But they wasn't 10 toes down from the beginning. Gotta learn life. Bitches levels to the shit. Cartier diamonds dancing different bezels on this bitch. And I bought the rockets heavy metal in this bitch. I said I bought the rock niggas heavy metal in this bitch. One time for my block niggas who low clips and puff on that la da da da. 2 times for the real bitches when he get locked. You know she gon' ride da da da. 3 times for them real hitters who don't play with niggas who switch side da da da. 4 times for the gang nigga when mailman on it, nigga, this shit fly, da da da.
That was the head tap with a bread at you came with a white fitted, left with a red cap. Bringing negative shit to life, nigga dead that. Watch like a bruise, put the ice on my wrist that. It's the best reptile, nigga. This for niggas on our block with it. Getting low with a cop sitting. Explode lows, got your ex start sipping. Even with loose laces, niggas not tripping. Bitch, fuck a cutter out for the one time. Pussy niggas catching cuts like a lunch line. Bitch, break a nigga up when it's crunch time. If it's up, know what's up. Talking bread, bitch, I'm bout mine. Yeah. It's the reptile hopping out the beamer. My thick chick got racks like Serena. Chain spinning, can't see me like Cena. Dump your Glock like you broke up with Nina. For real. Ay.
Wow. Real slow fade out. I like that choice of just letting the beat ride out. That's not a bad choice at all. I like that choice. Just letting the rest of it slide out slowly. Not bad. Not bad at all. I like that. I really like it. Well done. Nice slow fade out too. That's crazy. That was a long fade out. But I'm always a big fan of like letting the instrumental like ride out like that. It gives you time to reflect on what you just heard, right? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're going to talk about 3 things here. We are going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of One Time. So we're going to talk about the instrumental. I love this instrumental 100%. Like I feel like all the artists part of Money Green Music have a really good taste for instrumentals, right? They kind of have this like solid mix of kind of like a real classic feel, but also like a very modern like dark trap kind of feel. You know, it's very like eerie trap, but also like has that like classic, you know, boom bap kind of feel to it as well. So very nice mix of styles here, and I've always thought that they had a really good taste in instrumental, if you will, right? So instrumental mix, very solid, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that I would ultimately change on this one at all. Usually, again, the artists at Money Green Music always have a really mix when it comes to all of their tracks, but even more specifically, their instrumentals have always been really solid as well. So for this one, it's all the same, definitely a solid mix, and again, like I said, nothing clashing to overbearing. Sound selection is solid, vocals sit nice, drums definitely cut through nice. Nothing that I would ultimately change on this one at all. But a very solid mix nonetheless. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I really like the drums but by the end of the track, the melody was so prominent and like so memorable that it's got to be the melody to me. Like just that slow piano melody and drums behind it is fucking crazy. Um, so for me, definitely the melody, 100%. So instrumental, solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, very, very, very fucking solid. Again, a lot of the artists at Money Green Music, again, have a really solid natural voice. You know what I mean? A nice, raw, solid, like, um, hip hop kind of centered voice. So it's a lot easier for them to not really have to worry about a mix, right? Like you just got to clean it up, make sure it's nice, crisp, clean, clear, has like a little bit of elbow grease on it, and you're good to go, right? And a lot of their vocals are very clean, very crisp, very clear, very level. Nothing really clashing, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. The vocals sit nice, and it has that like raw hip hop feel to it, but it's not like unmixed. Like the quality is still very much up there. So um the vocal mix is right where it needs to be, without a doubt. Literally not even a question. Um hmm. So vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. Um Flow and cadence was up there, but the writing here is just like fuck. You know what I mean? Like the writing is filled with a lot of bars that are like damn. A lot of like real life bars, but a lot of like fun bars, a lot of like fuck you bars. There's a lot of solid lines here. So for me, I kind of want to go with writing. Writing is definitely something you should pay attention to on this one. Because it's somewhat like of an anthem tribute s track as well, right? Especially for like the homies and like just life in general. There's a couple directions you could take this with when it comes to writing, but writing is definitely a shining star for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. The vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Insane fucking cover, insane cover. Like this is perfect for a single too, because it's nice and like simple, minimalistic. But the parental advisory in the Rolex is crazy, and then with it on top of the water, and then the parental advisory in the bottom right, along with the Money Green Music logo. Like it's like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like this is perfect for a single, and it has this like vaporwave, vintage '80s kind of feel to it as well somehow. So it's really like pushing boundaries, you know what I mean? It's a great single piece of artwork here for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme one time. So realistically, definitely giving that like anthem feel, but it's also kind of like supporting the fact that these two are like insane writers. Melman we've definitely reacted to plenty of times before, and this is one where you definitely got to pay attention to the writing and just appreciate the lyrical ability, and take it as an anthem, because they definitely talk about a lot of real life shit, a lot of shit to do with the homies, and just a tribute almost, like just to the community, just like a community tribute almost. So I feel like they did a good job with that, man. So well done. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Money Green Music. Make sure you go follow Melman and Shapeshifter Dre on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Money Green Music on Twitter. They're approaching 1.4K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 we're approaching 300, man. I gotta get used to saying that. But now we're approaching 300, man. We're about 8 away, so make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Monday. Let's go. So, let's see here. All right, so all right, up next, we just left off with the homies at Money Green Music. Up next, we have Laura Kelsey. Now, Laura's the first time submitting artists here on the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. Let's see what we got here. I'm very, very interested. Poems and Power Ballads, Hunting Season EP out now. All right. Laura Kelsey, Down Your Dreams. Thank you for showcasing artists. You're very welcome, Laura. Thank you for your submission, my friend. All right. So do we have a music video here? Okay. It looks like we do. Die in Your Dreams now. Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple Music. Videos filmed by Laura Kelsey and Charlotte James. Lots of credits. I love that. Such a good song. Lots of love in the comments. Excellent, man. All right, let's get it. I'm down. Laura Kelsey, Die in Your Dreams. Let's go.
What you need is haunting you. You gotta let it go. You gotta cut it loose. If what you breathe just chokes blue, push it away. Move somewhere new. 'Cause I'm not asking for the gardens, babe, but I need a little more. I won't stay without the ocean. I won't stay without the shore. It's been a tough year for clovers. The one is bound to burst. The pain is less depending on who will skates fast. Send the world up in flames. Grab our heads on in flame. What does it mean when you die in your dreams? Yeah, what you have just ain't the truth. Search it out. Find something good. Because clarity thereafter. Sometimes you can't mourn.
Holy shit.
Acting out like eagles.
That view is
As they
crazy.
dance on the edge of a storm. Send the world up in flames. Grab our heads on in flame. What does it mean when you die in your dreams? Send the world up in flames. Grab our heads on in flame.
Wow.
What does it mean when you die in your dreams?
Impressive. Wow. That was insane. What did we just watch? Holy shit. Well done. That was insane. That was like one of the most entertaining music videos I've seen in a little bit, to be honest with you. It's been a little bit since I've seen something like that. Well done. That was really, really crazy. Okay. Let's break this down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So, we are gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Die in Your Dreams. So, or no, actually, scratch that. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the music video for Die in Your Dreams. So, let's talk instrumental, man. Such a like a very very powerful instrumental at that, right? Very theatrical, very like in your face, passionate kind of instrumental. So I like the choice, especially if you can like handle it as an artist. I definitely like the choice. So instrumental choice definitely solid. Instrumental mix. Um hmm. Instrumental mix. I mean, very solid. I mean, definitely no gripes with the mix at all. Like melodies are solid, sound selection is solid, vocals sound really solid, especially the melodic parts. I mean, definitely no gripes with the instrumental mix at all. Definitely not. I mean, everything sounds super crisp, clean, clear. So really solid mix for the instrumental as far as that goes, 100%. Um Instrumental shining star. Definitely the melody. The melody is like very catchy, but it's also very rememberable. Definitely rememberable. 100%. 100%. You know, structure's a close second, but definitely melody. Melody is like super emotional, but also very impactful on this track. So yeah, definitely melody for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. So obviously Laura has a very solid singing voice, like a very solid natural voice, right? So the vocal mix is fantastic. I mean, not much processing you want to do there, apart from like a little cleanup, maybe a little like a little reverb here or there, sweeten it up a little bit, put a little elbow grease on it, and ship it out, right? But man, this vocal mix in particular is like really solid, especially around the like melodic parts. Um, so I thought that was like really fucking just well done. You know, like this is a seasoned artist, right? This is an artist that has like really seasoned vocals, that they are not new to singing, they are not new to music, right? So very veteran vocals that we're dealing with here. So not really a shocker that the mix is solid, but nonetheless, a very solid vocal mix, 100%. So, vocal shining star. You know, I like the writing. The writing was very, very poetic here. But I feel like the hook is, again, very memorable along with the melody. The hook is very palatable and, like, catchy. Very, very catchy. So for me, I kind of want to go with the hook here, to be honest with you. Even though writing's a close second, I feel like the hook definitely clears. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Well, let's talk about the Die in Your Dreams music video. Because, boy, oh boy, was this fucking insane. So, starring Autumn Jory. This video was filmed by Laura Kelsey and Shelly J. Wow. So we have a very interesting location. Firefield effects by Barry Jesse Smith of Ocean Wave at VF. Special thanks to Zach Tanner. Song written by Laura Kelsey. Recorded at the Trio Studio in July 2022. Funding provided by Creative BC. Wow. Well done. Well done. I love the credits in there. Everybody got credited for everything there. So it all really came together like super well. But for this one, man, this was such an entertaining music video because it felt like a movie. You know, like and I do feel like the song kind of has that like movie-esque kind of feel to it anyway. But I feel like a very theatrical short film-esque kind of style was, you know, a perfect fit, kind of a no-brainer. And even when you saw the hand first on screen, like very early on, right, like right here, I was like, wait a minute, is that a fucking robot hand? And then by the time we get to the end of the video, you're starting to see like everything come together, and there's this kind of mannequin, and you have this like fire motion going on here. Like it was like an amazing short film that you just couldn't wait to like put the pieces together for. So I feel like this all came together like really, really well. Like the lead in this was great. I love the location. The concept of the mannequin's great. It was like kind of like a mystery-esque kind of feel. Like I don't think you like this is like such a great DIY video that like this is a gem. You know, this is the gem. This came out July of last year, so it's still pretty new. So July 2023. And then it was almost like a fever dream, right? Because they end up, you know, kind of waking up and it's like, boom, I'm awake, yada, yada, yada. So really well done. Simple editing, high quality, 1080-30. Like, I mean, not much more you can want from a DIY video like this. quality's great. The lead in this is great. The editing and transitions is great. I mean, Shining Star for the music video has got to be. It's got to be probably the end. I would say this fire section is really insane and is something that was like super entertaining because it's like this takes skill, but it's also like it almost felt like a finale for the track, you know, like the end of a movie, the end of a short film, you know. So really feel like this concept came together like super well for Laura and everybody involved. So well done, my friends. Well done. Thank you for your submission. Make sure you go follow Laura Kelsey on YouTube. They're now 7 subs. Now that Music Mondays is subscribed to them, they're now 7 subs away from 600 or 360. So make sure you go show them some love on YouTube. And of course, make sure you go follow Laura on Twitter. They are approaching 1.3K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We're about 9 away, so make sure you go show these artists and channel some love. Like I said, we upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you for showing some love to Music Mondays, my friends. Let's go. So, alrighty, my friends. So that's going to conclude submissions for episode 190 of the Music Mondays podcast. I'd go get ready for a late night meeting and get ready for content for the week. So let's close it out. Let's give some shout outs. Let's talk about what's coming over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk, my friends. Let's talk. So with that said, huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love in the chat tonight. Huge, massive shout out to Sam's Rats for coming through showing love. Massive shout out to Giara for coming through and showing love. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream and family, my friend. And huge shout out to every artist that submitted tonight. You guys are fucking beautiful and fantastic, man. Let's fucking go. Literally, huge shout out to all you guys, man. Literally. So let's see here. Huge shout out to let's show some love to everybody's submission here, man. Let's see who we got. So, let's see here. Huge shout out to all of our patrons. First off, huge shout out to King Mark, Ryuki, Jordan, Kruker, and all of our followers over there on Patreon. You guys are beautiful and amazing. Thank you for showing love. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, Lucha Libro, Onwuka, Osprey Mysterious, Philip Foxley, The Single Digits, Marco Pernice, Money Green Music, Laura Kelsey, Jordan, David Aluri, Jokerhead, Skeletor Goat, Fonzie, Braden, DZO, Fonzie again as well, Domi Jara, Laverius, and DCMC. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for your submissions. Much love to anybody who submitted, tuned in, showed love. You guys are fucking beautiful. Thank you. Let's see here. So what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So we're cranking out some Cyberfest 2 information on all the artists, really tying up some loose ends, and that's our main focus for this week, man. So stay tuned for some big Cyberfest announcements this week, 100%. And of course, make sure that you follow Music Mondays on all socials to stay up to date with everything that we have going on here. So if you'd like to submit tracks for episode 191, submissions open tomorrow, Tuesday, September 10th. If you're watching this live, literally tomorrow, if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, submissions open. They're already open, so make sure you go drop your tracks and everything like that. Drop them below, and make sure you pay attention and make sure you see when submissions drop, right? So submissions open tomorrow if you're watching this live. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already live, so make sure you go drop your tracks. Of course, like I said, your weekly and regular scheduled content will stay the same. Articles Friday, submissions open tomorrow, submissions open for SoundCloud Sunday on Wednesday, so make sure you go show all that some love per usual. But you guys know the drill. Make sure you follow Music Mondays on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much every single social media, wherever you're at, we are there. TikTok, Twitter, Tumblr, Insta, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're at, we're at. So make sure you go show some love over there and stay up to date with all of Music Mondays drops. And of course, make sure you stream Music Mondays on all audio platforms, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. All of our episodes are available on the go. Make sure you take us wherever you go, gym, road trips, anywhere like that. Make sure you get ready to take us on the go with you, because we are there. And of course, like I said, we're live here on the channel quite literally 5-6 days a week. I'm always watch partying, speedrunning, playing games, horror stuff, chatting, yapping, all that good jazz. So I'll be live tomorrow per usual. So make sure you follow me at ZomSlays Follow the channel below. Follow, subscribe below. All the socials, all the good stuff is linked down below. I'll be live tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my regular stream. And, of course, we'll be live next Monday for episode 191 of the Music Mondays podcast. Make sure you get your submissions in during this week. You guys know the drill, man. We're always live. We're always chilling. Make sure you come through, show some love. Again, huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love tonight. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in and showed love tonight. Your boy Zom Slays, man. This has been Music Mondays, episode 190. Make sure you go show us some love and get ready for episode 191. I'll be live tomorrow and next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Music Mondays podcast. Well, let's fucking get it, baby. Be safe. I love you guys. Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow and next Monday. Let's go.